My name is Dennis Rodman. I'm a former player who was very active in defense and rebounding in the NBA, the world's premier basketball league. Five-time NBA champion, two-time Defense Player of the Year, won the rebounding title 7 years in a row, and the list goes on and on. This time, I'll tell you the half of my life. I was born in Trenton, New Jersey in 1961. Many guys from poor family backgrounds have become NBA players, and I'm one of those. I spent my childhood in public housing project in the slums. In high school, I was a shoplifter and a complete unknown in basketball, which was the key. Hey, wait! Getting caught was an everyday occurrence. It's you again. I guess I was famous among the cops. I'm considered to be one of the best rebounders and defenders in the NBA history, as well as one of the most problematic players in NBA. Maybe that predisposition was already in place at this time. I also experienced homelessness, and if I shoplifted, I would get caught. So, I didn't live the kind of life that would make me an NBA player. My sister's friend suggested that I go to junior college. Then I transferred to Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Ura! That's when I started to get comfortable with rebounding. And actually, it wasn't just rebounding. I was averaging over 25 points a game. And that's when I caught the attention of NBA scouts. 1986 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Dennis Rodman from the Southeastern Oklahoma State University. I was able to get picked by the Detroit Pistons in the second round, 27th overall for my college performance. The Pistons who picked me were growing every year at this time. They had team leader Isaiah Thomas, center Bill Laimbeer, and head coach Chuck Daly, and they had a fierce defense. I heard that some teams are protesting that your methods are dirty. What do you think? Fuck you. I heard some guys called us the bad boys and officially protested the NBA for dirty ways of doing everything. Some guys had a lot of time in their hands. I wasn't that bored. I kept studying to be able to get more rebounds. Actually, each person's shot is unique and slightly different. I even watched all my teammates' shots to figure out how many revolutions it took to reach the ring. Hey, everybody's practicing. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was just looking at the rotation of your shot. By the way, your shot is a triple rotation. This is the only time that even Isaiah looked at me strangely. Well, I'm the only one who would memorize the number of revolutions of a ball, so it's not surprising. But that's how obsessed I was with rebounding. We bad boys won back-to-back championships in 1989 and 1990 with our strong defense. I personally won the Best Defensive Player award and was recognized as the best defender in the league. But the biggest test came in 1991, when we were on the verge of a third straight championship. The Chicago Bulls were also in the Eastern Conference. The Bulls had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and they were steadily getting stronger every year. This is the third year in a row we've hit the Bulls in the conference finals. Last year and the year before, we managed to fend off their challenge. But this year's Bulls were nothing like last year's. We started the series with 3 consecutive losses, and there was nothing left to do. Then, in the 4th game, an incident occurs. Whoa! Woke them up to be exact. The Pistons didn't have what it took to turn things around at that time, and to my surprise, they couldn't win a single game in the series. They didn't even make it to the NBA Finals, let alone win 3 in a row. The next year was rough, not only the team situation but in my personal life as well. I married my longtime girlfriend, but we divorced after only 82 days. The retirement of my mentor, Chuck Daly, also had a big impact. I became so emotionally unstable that I finally tried to kill myself. I barely made it through the attempt. I changed my mind and decided I was done with this. I was traded from the Pistons to the San Antonio Spurs in the off-season. It was around this time that I started to see a noticeable change in my appearance. My hair became brighter and I got more tattoos. But it wasn't just the way I looked that changed, it started to show in the way I acted. I had a motorcycle accident and was out of the game. I was late for a game and got suspended. There were a lot of reasons why I was late. You're cold, sir. What is it? Come on, it's ovulation day. Believe it or not, it's true. She wanted to have a baby, you know. The plane comes to Las Vegas and it's a 5-hour flight to New York where she is. When we get there, we finish and go back to Vegas to play. If you're doing this kind of sex life, you're bound to have a delay or two. My personal life is like this, but on the court, I'm as active as ever. And I'm the rebounding king, but even if you're active in the court, if you're causing problems, you're going to be isolated from the team. In the end, I was treated as nuisance by the team and was kicked off the team without being able to repair the relationship. So I was released in a trade, and to my surprise, the trade was to Chicago Bulls. The Bulls were a team I had fought to the death with many times in the playoffs, and Pippen, who had injured his jaw with 6 stitches in the incident, seemed to hate me so much that he remembered me every morning when he shaved. If you want to join the Bulls, you'll have to apologize to Pippen first. I apologized to Pippen first. During the 1995-96 season, his first year with the team, many experts and fans questioned the presence of the most troubled player in the NBA history. But despite the concerns of those around him, he made great strides. At that time, the Bulls had a system called the triangle offense, said head coach Phil Jackson. While this is an efficient way to score, it is also considered complicated and difficult. It has a big disadvantage that it takes a long time for new players to understand it. But Rodman figured out the triangle offense is faster than anyone else, including me. This episode is the most famous episode of my basketball IQ, so make sure you remember it. I achieved an NBA record at a time of 72 wins and 10 losses. This record was a great achievement that was even called the record that will never be broken, until it was broken by the Warriors in 2015-16 season. Unbelievable! The Bulls' popularity was considerable, including Jordan's, but my popularity was also quite good, and it seems that there were some enthusiastic fans of mine called Rodomania or something. I ended up winning 3 consecutive championships in my 3 years with the Bulls. Individually, I continued to defend my position as the rebounding king, which I had been doing since my days with the Pistons, and became the rebounding king for 7 consecutive years. I'm the only person in history to be the rebounding king for 7 consecutive years. After leaving the Bulls, I went on to play for 2 teams before retiring from the game. After retiring, I was still very busy. I returned as a player in the independent leagues, got married, and divorced. I also tried my hand at mixed martial arts. I also went to North Korea and met Kim Jong-un. The guys around me really tried to stop me, but I didn't care. Kim Jong-un was a nice guy, man. The best part of all was being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2011, which is the highest honor for a basketball player. I would have died somewhere else. I could have been a drug dealer, or I could have been homeless. In fact, I was homeless. I didn't play basketball for money or to be famous. I just wanted to be my colorful self. It's not a coincidence that I've won 5 championships in my varied career. I've never been the type to score a lot of goals, but there's more than one way to contribute to a team. I chose to contribute to the team in the form of defense and rebounding. You don't have to be the same as everyone else. You need to be creative to be successful. I'm still being my colorful self somewhere on the planet today, and I hope you'll take care of your own colors too.